Page 31, starting with lesson 4 today. Hopefully that warm-up went well for you. If not, make sure you ask so we can get it figured out. All right? So, question 1. Decide if the following are true or false and explain why. Kellen, first one, what do you think?
I didn't even get there.
Well, go ahead and look at it.
Okay, so CD plus BC, I feel like that would be true.
BC and CD would equal the whole BD. That would be true. If you had to explain, I would say that's a poor choice, Kinley.
All of them are not.
Okay. Why is that true? Well, because these two smaller segments make up the whole thing. Next one, AB and BD. Okay, so that's talking about this length and this length equals CD plus the whole thing. Georgia.
It's true. What?
Seriously?
Okay, so watch this, Georgia. You ready? AB, the short chunk, right?
Yeah.
BD, the short chunk, that equals the whole thing.
Yeah.
Next one's saying CD, this little chunk, plus the whole thing
Yeah.
equals the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, it's bigger. It's this plus the whole thing.
Oh, so it goes on. Okay.
False. You listen to Kinley that said they were all true. AC minus AB. So if I take AC and I subtract this little chunk from it, I'm going to be left with this little chunk. Yeah, that makes no sense. Kinley, all true, right? All right, last one. Last one. What do you think? Jessa? True. True is correct. BD minus CD. So BD minus CD, I'm left with this. AC minus AB, I'm left with this. They both equal this little chunk right here, BC. All right, next problem. All right, so this is kind of a data card again. We're going to do it together. And I'm going to give you the problem, and you tell me the type of information you would need to find this angle. And then I am bound to the information that I have on the data card once you ask. Colin. Okay. I don't have either one of those, so I can't give you that. Angle D, I can tell you. Angle D is 124. Georgia.
Wait, you don't have A, you said?
I do not have A.
Oh, never mind then.
C. I do have C. And then there's a couple other things I have noted that don't involve degrees, dealing with terms that we talked about yesterday. A and C are complementary. Okay.
Okay, I think
A and C, that means these two right here. A and C. That means they add up to 90. A and C. C and E are vertical. So we might as well just fill them all out at this point. We should have enough information, right? Kellen, can you give me one of them and why?
A is 34 degrees because 34 plus 56.
Okay, add up to 90, complementary. Say that again. D is 124. B is 90. Well, let's check. All right. Well, it tells us these two are vertical, so I know this is 56. Right? If all those would equal 360, I would say I'm fine. Okay. Another thing you can look at, this angle and this angle. Do you see how these two are across from each other? They're equal. These two should be as well. So if this is 124, this should be 124. That's another way to find it. Either way, 90 is just fine. Okay, one more of those. And again, they should all equal 360. All right, I'm going to give you some information for this one as well. It says it wants to know angle B right here in the directions, Chesney. All right, it tells me, angle A is 90. Angle Z is 63. X and D are supplementary. All right, so just like yesterday, let's concentrate on the bottom one here first. If we have one, we should get to all the others. Right. One across is 63.
W is 90.
That is certainly not a 90-degree angle there. Okay. Yes, A is 90, yes, but we're down here. And you said W. Georgia, what is W?
100
Has to equal what?
and
Shh. Georgia has to equal what?
180.
Okay.
She said 90 before that. So that's why you-
117.
All right.
She said it has to equal 90, that's why I asked. And then she said it has to equal
117. All right, now let's go up here. Because we know these two now are supplementary, we should be able to get D.
D equals 117.
117. These two,
63. Oh, I know the answer. 63.
how do you know that?
It's complementary.
27.
117 minus 90.
All right, so a couple ways to get 27. These two, complementary, right? Same as a 90-degree angle. Or because these two are vertical again, these two would have to be vertical as well. So they have to equal 117. 90 plus 27, 117. Again, a way to check it, they all better be 360. All better be 360. All right, question 3. All right, good job. Now we are on number 3. I want you to match up each expression with an equation.
Explain how they match.
Okay. I will give you 2 minutes to see if you can get those. All of them. Well, it's 5 and 5. All right. Let's hear one. Brenna.
A is 2.
A is 2. They are equal. Let's see. Should I put a 2 up here? Fine. A, vertical angles. Corbin.
B is 1.
B. Complementary. Nope. Supplementary. Add up to 180. Josh.
3 is 8.
3. Yes. So G could go up here, right? Because it's vertical. So H plus G plus H would equal 90. Two left. Autumn.
E is 4.
48 plus G plus H is 180. Looks good.
I know the last one.
All right, Georgia, let's hear it.
C.
C is 6.
Correct.
Wait.
Comedy hour. All right, so 35 G and H equals
But if there was
180. Yes, you can put a 6 there if you want, Georgia. All right, next question. We're just going to do 1 and 2 here. Angle at 3 o'clock. Should be an easy one. 90 degrees. Right angle. All right, now number 2 is going to be a little trickier. So before we get to number 2, how many minutes are in an hour? 60. So how many degrees would represent each minute?
I don't know.
160.
360 degrees in a circle, divided by how many minutes there are?
60.
I'm gonna go with Charlie and go 6. No, it's not. It's 12. 6.
So every minute is 6. All right, keep that in mind. All right, number 2, would you read it please, Corbin?
2.
Yep.
You might think that the angle between the hour and the minute hand at 2:20 is 60 degrees, but it's not. The hour hand has moved beyond the 2. Calculate the angle between the clock hand at 2:20.
Where's the enthusiasm?
All right. So here's the deal. These are less common now, obviously. But when you have a clock, as the minute hand is spinning, the hour hand doesn't just sit at the 2. Right? That gradually moves as well. So your clock is going to look more like this at roughly 2:20. That should be right on the 4 there. All right, so let me ask you this. If I have an angle pointed at the 3 and the 4 and it's perfect, how many degrees is that?
30.
How do you know that?
Because 6 times 5 is 30.
6 times 5. So every one of these is 30 degrees, right? 30, 60, half of it would be 180. This one up here was 3 sections, 30, 30, 30 would be 90, right? So every section is 30. So if it stayed perfect, my answer would be 60 degrees. But as we mentioned, this hour hand doesn't sit there. Okay, so what fraction of an hour is 20 minutes?
1/5.
What fraction of an hour is 20 minutes?
1/3.
1/3. So what is a third of that 30 degrees?
10.
10. So that means it moved 10 degrees. Okay, so it moved 10 degrees. So instead of being 30 up here, it's only going to be 20. Because it's 10 degrees, it moved 10 degrees in 20 minutes. So what do you think, Brooks?
50 degrees.
50. 30 plus 20 is 50. Or you could say 60 minus a 10 is 50. But your answer is 50 degrees. Any clock problem you come across, this is going to be super helpful right here. So make sure you have that written down. 6 degrees per minute. All right, homework starting on page 35. Couple points here just to make note of. Question 1, all. More than one answer. All. Question 2, one answer. Which equation? One answer. Question 3, all I care about is G, but you might have to figure out some other angles to figure that out. Maybe you can look at it and see it. Make sure you label. Question 4, equations. Again, all. Question 5, Andre is solving the following equation, and he has a little statement here. He said he can subtract 3 halves from both sides and get 4x equals 11 over 2. And Kieran says, you know what? You made a mistake. Something doesn't work. And Kieran's right. Okay, A. How do you know for sure that doesn't work? How can we know for sure that doesn't work? That's what you're going to write down for A. B, state his error and explain how to fix it. It's not asking you to solve it. It's saying you explain what should have been done, okay, in that process. Question 6, 5 parts. It goes on to the next page here, just fractions and decimals. Okay, just as a review, you're going to do the opposite of this, and then you're going to divide by what's in front of the x. So instead of adding 3/4 here, I got to subtract 3/4, and then I got to divide by 1/7. Same is true on the next one for the decimals. Do the opposite of this. What's the opposite of plus 7.9? You're going to minus 7.9, and I'm going to divide by what's in front of the x. They're all the same. Fractions and decimals there. Last question. Find the constant of proportionality, and notice it says find 2. Okay, so once you find one, remember you just reciprocal it. You can get the other one and switch the label. Okay, that is a review from Unit 1. Nope, Unit 2. Okay, 2 constant of proportionalities explain what's it mean. So like miles per minute. The other one would be minutes per mile. Okay, that's not this one, but that's an example. All right, so those 7 questions, and you have quite a bit of time to work before we go.